a PDP serving minister for the president of African Development Bank, that he had to even dispatch a former vice president of the country to help him to go to South Africa to push the case for Adewumi to become additional, to become the president of African Development Bank. Nobody counts that. When he talked about security and he moved to our neighboring countries that have been of help with the crisis we have in the Northeast region, people think that he was going on a jolly trip. He wasn't. He had already issued some statements to the existing PAMSECs, and the heads of service. I consulted with them and told them the nature of the bureaucracy is looking at. By the time he's back from a trip he's going abroad, he's also talked to the local government administrators, because he said he's going to be interested, without interfering or trying to say that nobody's doing well. He's going to be interested on how the local government funds will be managed, because that's the grassroots.
You paint a picture of a man who's looking at a holistic picture of Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly.
That means his team would have to be thinking in that line as well. But what about the taint? Is he going to be looking beyond the walls of the party? Would he be looking at the nation as a whole, as in, it doesn't matter, irrespective of your political leanings, the most important thing is, do you have a holistic picture of Nigeria?
And can you deliver?
Not only that he's doing that, he's also trying to know that the National Assembly today, you must walk across the aisles. 59-49. You don't have two thoughts, which to President Muhammad Buhari is a blessing to the country, because he believes in the separation of powers and the doctrine of checks and balances. For him, he told us one day, he said, no matter how benevolent you are or how brilliant, if there's no checks and balances, you might derail.
Yeah, true.
So he's looking at the National Assembly as a bipartisan relationship. Not that he's going to discuss with the APC now. But he will not. He also wants the PDP to be strong. He doesn't want a one-party state.
Can we safely read into this that finally we have got to a place where merit counts for something in this country?
I think you're correct. The first call or second call I got after his victory was from a top official of Julius Berger Nigeria Limited, a German. He said, Osita, you know, we are jubilating with more than you people. I said, how? I said, how can you jubilate more than the political party that won an election? He said, we are sure in the next 4 or 8 years, nobody will come on this table to tell us that Mr. President won 10%. Add it. Mr. President told me 18%. Add it. That nobody will tell them, because they know the man will not do so.
That is damning.
Let's
go on.
That if the head is rotten, that the body of the fish is rotten.
Mr. Dania.
And conversely.
Mr. Dania, there has been a lot of speculation in the media lately that the president might just decide not to farm out the Ministry of Petroleum, that he might decide to head that ministry himself. And there's also plenty of discussion about it. I mean, with all that he has to do, will he have time to adequately oversee activities in that sector? What are your thoughts?
For the Ministry of Petroleum, I sincerely believe that because of the volume and activity of things we expect from Mr. President, he should try as much as possible to let there be a minister to head petroleum. In as much as petroleum is what Nigeria relies on, gives us about almost 80-85% of our income as a country.
Well, the economists say a lot less than that, but never mind.
No. Economically, if we look at it, without petroleum now, or petroleum resources as a country, I don't know where we'll be. So,
well, they say that non-oil is actually growing.
Non-oil is growing, but at what's the quantum? What is the volume? We look at agriculture. Dr. Additional, he has done a lot in agriculture. But if you look at agriculture, because agriculture has several facets. you have the agronomy, you have fishery, you have livestock, you have livestock, you will discover that invariably, if you look at what we've been consuming and what we've been importing, it has not really gone down. So as a country, it will take a while for all those things to have effect.
Okay.
So we still depend on petroleum. And as Mr. President, what I would suggest is, in as much as he will still need to supervise because of the wastages, he will need to supervise, but he needs someone that understands the rudiments of petroleum administration so that he will be properly guided. So at any point in time, he doesn't need to talk at the tip. He needs to get all information from the man that's heading the ministry. Because if he's in Norway, he's in somewhere else outside the country, and something happens relating to the petroleum, there must be somebody on ground to quickly arrest the situation. So I believe we still need the minister to be in petroleum because it's huge.
And then there's the small matter of us being the head of OPEC at the moment. Nigeria's oil minister is the OPEC president.
Exactly.
There's that small matter. So if he assumes the position of the Minister for Petroleum, will he also be president of OPEC?
And
what time will he have to...
He won't have. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying that. There are several things that are related to the petroleum. And I believe as the president issued, in as much as he's ready to supervise the ministry effectively, he should still give it to someone that understands the language of petroleum administration to administer. And definitely the person who reports to him, it might be every day or every week. So he's abreast of what is happening in that.
Mr. Ketu, we know that the president has headed that ministry at some time in his public life. What do you think that should be the right thing to do? Would he be looking to head that ministry? Do you think that would be one of the ministries we want to put under his portfolio?
One of the advice I've recently got that I don't want to dispense easily is the advice given by Pope Francis. He was addressing the Vatican, and he said the leadership of the church should be careful about gossip terrorists. That is as much as
okay, there are terrorists and there are gossip terrorists. Oh, this is a new one.
That, what I do not want to do is to lead myself in gossiping.
Fuel the gossip.
The only thing I could say that I've observed in the past 12 years or 13 that we have been with President Muhammad Buhari is that I've seen him consult with those who are in such industries. And one of his greatest allies, if we have any pecking order, that should be one of the top, is Tam David West. And David West had always in our major committee meetings submitted his position about the oil industry. And he is also in the transition committee that is trying to do small executive summaries on issues that relate to those critical infrastructure. And Tam David West must have exchanged enough information with other professionals. And as you said, as Minister of Petroleum then, President Muhammad Buhari awarded the contract for the Warri and Kaduna refineries and saw to almost the completion before his government handed over. So I think what he's going to do